seeing no face with style and grace. A wreck where he direct got flair and taste. Holds no drop crowd when he in the mix. In a throwback jersey and custom kicks.
Hello there, hello there, hello there. So I've decided that I'm going to start posting these on Two Russians, One America. So obviously they go up on Two Russians, One Podcast. I'm going to switch the link so these go up on Two Russians, One Podcast. And I think it would be kind of cool because what I'm going to do is I'm going to start talking about my productions, what's been going on, what's happening. Not all podcasts, but just some of them will go on there. And I think it'll be a really a fun experience and something cool to listen to. So what I want to talk about today is it's going to be a short one. And what people have been asking me for have been like these lighting diagrams that I've been doing. So I'm calling them Lighting 101. Wow, so original, Lighting 101. Are very original there. Slava Ivan. And as you could tell, the logo is different. It's Two Russians, One America. I'm the Two Russians. I'm the Slava, the mainstream horror guy. Ivan, the Hall of Fame porn director. There should be three because I also do, I'm also the extreme photographer. So maybe we think change it to Three Russians, One America. I don't know. Two Russians, One extreme photographer. Anyways, I am putting together an episode of Two Russians, One Canadian with Darcy Diamond. And then there's going to be, then the other Canadian gets into town, Kennedy Rose, in a few days. And we're going to be shooting a bunch of stuff for Two Russians, One Canadian, Purdue with Kennedy Rose. So anyways, the last podcast obviously was with Darcy Diamond. It was our final farewell as she was going back home. We had a wonderful few days of shooting and creating and just watching some horror movies and becoming better, closer friends. I've only been around her one other trip in August of 2022. So it was nice to like catch up and things like that. So next is Kennedy Rose this week. And it's always fun to get to know new models and become friends with them and create with them. And when you become friends with people and see their dedication, their creativity, this is where sparks can fly as creators together. Not romantically, people. Not romantically, just creatively. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. Oh, yeah, also, I shit you not, in the last week and a half, the amount of alt models that have reached out is amazing. Is amazing. This I can't even tell you. Look, I think on Saturday I spoke to 3 different models that are down to shoot together, work together, possibly get tattooed, do creative stuff. I have one that's coming in mid-March that we have a plan for something really, really cool that I've wanted to do for years, and I'm finally going to get a chance to do it. So she'll be here, and I really can't wait to shoot this. If we could pull it off, I think we can, and it's going to be pretty amazing. Now, what I want to talk about this podcast, it's going to be a shorty but goodie. It's going to be, let's call it Press Play, Then Play, starring Robin Coffins. Okay, a little bit about Robin Coffins. It's kind of a funny story. So at XBiz awards nominations event, I was involuntarily writing solo that night. So I got to the event, and as usual, the red carpet people are like, "Oh, there's Ivan." Remember now? At that point, was I? No, was I? I'm trying to remember. No, I was before. I was a two-time Hall of Famer. And for all of you that think that I'm bragging, no, it's a wrestling term because when Booker T was a three-time world champ, that's how you would say it. So it's my homage to Booker T. He might have been 5-time champ. I'm not sure. But either way, it's my homage to Booker T, who is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. He's a very, very entertainer, sports entertainer, I guess we should say, right? So I'm at XBiz Awards nominations event, and I just walked the red carpet, and I'm bored. Like, I'm there by myself, So I'm just I went and talked to a handful of people, and I go outside just to like chill, get some fresh air. And then there's like these two super hot, tall women there. Holy mother of God, right? And they both have like orange and yellow hair. They're both like over 6 feet tall because they're wearing heels. So I'm just like, who the F are those two, right? And then I'm like, wait, I think that's Robin Coffins and Serena. I think Serena's her wife, girlfriend's name, something like that. I'm not sure. I know they're together. That's all I know. Anyways, I was like, holy shit. Like, they have, like, I've never seen them in person. They're like super tall. So that means the legs are super long. And I could shoot some really cool shit with them. But since I'm very shy and very socially awkward, I don't come up to people. I don't introduce myself. Not because I'm an asshole or I'm unapproachable. In fact, I'm very approachable. I prefer people approach me because I can't approach them. So I didn't approach them. I just walked by them, made eye contact with them. They looked at me, and we moved on with our day, with our night. Never talked to them. So fast forward to AVN Awards, and again, involuntarily riding solo. This was my year of solo events together, at least the last two. So once again, I'm all alone, and this time I'm being inducted into the AVN Hall of Fame. So after the award show, I see them two standing there, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna suck it all up, and I'm gonna go and talk to them. I'm gonna just go talk to them and introduce myself and see if we could collaborate together. I'm an alt erotic director, and they're very alt, and let's shoot some cool shit together. And so I beeline right for them, walking right towards them, and then our eyes lock. All of our 6 eyes lock. 4 from their direction, 2 from my direction. And you hear that? Listen, it's my cat. She's in the garbage bag. And she's trying to... Are you trying to get out of the garbage bag? She's actually, on the handle part, she crawled through it, so it's like half her body. So it's like she's wearing it as a dress right now. How's that bag treating you, Zeno? Oh, you're not having a good time? Well, too bad. At least it's not around your neck, so you're fine. Anyways, so I'm walking towards them, and they're looking at me, and I'm looking at them, and I get close enough to within like screaming reach, I guess, and I freak out, and as I'm walking towards them, I'm like, quick left, and I darted away, and I'm like, oh man, I can't come up to. Mostly females, even men, but mostly females. I just can't. Like I'm shy as hell. Like, for anybody listen to this, whoever listens to this, if they do listen to it, know this: I will not approach you if I find you remotely attractive. Not even attractive in general. Like, I just don't approach females because I'm nervous. I'm like I don't want people thinking I'm trying to hit on them. Because our industry is so filled with creepers, I don't want to be that person. So I just if somebody introduces me, then we can start a conversation and go from there. But other than that, I don't. So I went home, back to the hotel, by myself. AVN Award Hall of Famer, going home by himself, dressed like a trophy. And I am someone's trophy husband in the near future, hopefully. Trophy boyfriend, whatever. Anyways, how about trophy co-creator, co-director? I like that. This cat, can you leave that bag alone, Zeno? What's your deal? She's just staring at me like a cat stares at you. So I I get back to LA after the AVN weekend. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to DM Robin Coffins. I DM'd her, and we started talking about collaborating. She's like, oh, I love your work. And I'm like, oh, I love your look. And so then I started like brainstorming what I can do. I'm like, I would love to use her for Ink Motel 4. But what am I going to use her for? Originally, we were thinking of doing a girl-girl scene. And so I was trying to come up with ideas, and then we're like, screw it. And then my original trip to Vegas was being postponed. So I hit her up. I'm like, look, it's probably better that we like wait a month or so. And when I come out, I'm gonna plan a day to do stuff with you, you know. And she loved the idea. She was fine with it. Then I started brainstorming, like, okay, so her color hair, what can I do with it that's really cool? I had an old gray Walkman. I'm like, oh, what if I get like yellow Walkman, old Walkman headset, you know, with the little foam sponges on each end. So I got that, and then I'm going, man, it's cool because it kind of like flows with the color of her hair. And then I'm like, what if I get an actual Walkman that's yellow? So I went and did some research on eBay, and I found a yellow Walkman, and I bought that to match. And I also bought those old Memorex audio cassettes that have the pink, yellow, and green on them. So I'm like, this is a perfect little color scheme. And so I took a picture of the stuff that I have, and I sent her a girl, hey, I want to do something really fun, elaborate with this. Do you mind? And she's like, I fucking love it. I'll go shopping right now. And so she went and bought an outfit that would match the props that I have. And my idea was that she comes into this hotel room and there's a camera set up. And she's kind of confused about the camera setup. And there's no audio. It's just like visually told with shadows and lighting and things like that. And then a phone goes off. Originally, I was going to use a rotary phone. But then I'm like, I have this really cool brick phone that I use for Ivan Dragon's character. So I'm like, I'm going to put this in this little cool. I have this box that's like a leopard print box. I'm gonna put it in there, like Ivan Dragon came into the room early, set up the camera, set all this stuff up, and left. So the plan was she walks in, she hears bring, bring, and she gets on the phone, listens to it, and whoever's on the other line, which would have been Ivan Dragon, my character, which I'm gonna shoot the inserts at some other time for the movie, for the update. We don't need it for her content. Her fans don't need to see my ugly face on her content. You know what I mean? Anyways, the scenario would be she's on the phone, and then the person on the line tells her to turn the camera light on and just start recording. So she goes to the camera, and I lit it really cool. I wanted to do something really cool with like a stream of light, so you could see poosh, across the room. What I did was I went to Sammy's that morning. That day was insane. This was on the Tuesday. I woke up at 5:30 in the morning, and I packed the car. I drove to Sammy's, which was a whole different direction from where I need to go to Vegas. I was gonna buy just canned smoke, so I could spray the smoke to create the shadow, the stream of light. But what I wound up doing was I'm walking around in Sammy's. This is how Sammy's gets you. It's kind of like Amazon. I bought black foil, black wrap, which I really needed to mold light with. That thing used to be like $15 for a roll. Now it's $44. It's insane. And then as I'm walking around, I'm going to the lomography camera section. No more Lomo cameras, but they have these little reusable 35 millimeter cameras that come with a little flash. So they're like basically point and shoot cameras, but they're not disposable. So they're reusable. So I went to the camera department, to the film department, and I bought a roll of portrait film and this little camera. I went in to buy $20 or whatever, $18 canned smoke, and I walked out with $140 worth of shit because it's what Sammy's does. But the thing is, when I buy all this stuff, it's all reinvestment into the content, into shooting cool stuff, giving girls really cool content. Now with this film camera, I could shoot little pictures here and there just for the girls, just to have something really cool for them to have, you know. They don't get the pictures right away. It's not a Polaroid. It's an actual film camera. So then I'll take it to the lab, get it processed, get it scanned, and give people these pictures, maybe print them out even, you know, once I scan them and see what they look like. But so that was the plan. And then after that, 4.5 hour drive to Vegas. I had a really, really important business meeting with a couple of people. That lasted till about 5:30. So I was ready by 5:30. By the time I left that meeting, I was at 12-hour day. And I knew I still had to go check in and I had to go set up lights, and I had to shoot this. Didn't have to, wanted to shoot this stuff. I actually gave Robin an out, and I'm like, hey, it's super windy tonight, and it was like insanely windy in Vegas, where there was like a high wind storm alert and things like that. And I was like, hey, if you want to shoot tomorrow, I'm free during the day tomorrow. Hoping like, please, let's shoot tomorrow. She's like, no, we'll come out tonight. All right, cool, sounds good, fine. Which meant like I had to check in and go and set up. So I checked in. I set up the lights the way I wanted to, for most part, and then Robin and Serena arrived, and they were just chilling while I set up. And then we, like it took a while to shoot because I wanted to make sure every shot, every frame looked good, because it's important to me. This is the first time I'm shooting her. I want to impress her with what I shoot, and plus I want really good content for her, for myself, for Ink Motel. So I set everything up, and we did testing. We did stills for every little setup that we had. Her outfit was perfect. It looked like a little Red Riding Hood dress, but it was yellow. And then she had two different tops, and the top that we went with was like this flowery top that was perfect because it went well with the red panties. She wore boots, like combat boots. And she's like, I was thinking combat boots rather than like, pretty shoes. And I'm like, brilliant. That I love it. That was her call. She had glasses. Her whole outfit was her idea. She had this really cool little, looked like a military jacket that she wore over it. Outfit was great. The pictures were amazing. Everything about that shoot was perfect, and that was the whole point, was to make something that's really, really artsy, creative, fun. I think at one point I'll probably, when I go to Vegas next time, maybe do a podcast with Robin just to talk to her about, what she does and what she's about. So it would be nice to like get her on the podcast to also discuss the shoot. But it was one of those things where it's like shooting so many different angles, and in my head I'm editing it as I'm shooting, and also changing it a little bit around from what the original plan was and the original script that I had written, because now we're on a crunch time. I'm beyond exhausted. The night's running late. I'm like, and I told him at like 10:30, 11 o'clock, I'll try to be done by midnight. We were done by almost 2:30 in the morning. So my day was, what was that, 21 hours? And I don't mind, like if I'm being productive, I don't care about how long the days are. I really don't. Because the next day I had two shoots. I had one in the morning, and then I had some time off in the middle, and then a late shoot at night. So I was like, well, screw it. Like, I'll sleep a little bit, and then I'll wake up, I'll shoot, I'll take a nap, and then I had to go to another hotel to shoot and get it all done. I don't mind the work. In fact, I don't look at it as work. I look at it as exercise, and I count my steps just to see how many steps I do for that day. So we shot really cool stuff. The solo was cool, and the whole time I'm shooting, I'm going, okay, what am I going to add from my point of view later? Like what music, what sound effects? Am I going to add my voice, Ivan Dragon voice, on the phone when she's listening? All those things are going in my head. And then I'm thinking, as soon as we were done, I'm just like, man, I almost wish I could drive back to LA and just edit this stuff right now, just to see what it looks like, because I'm so excited about it, and it's something that I've been looking forward to ever since Robin and I started conversing, and it was finally here, and we shot it, and just the few images I looked at that we took stills of looked fantastic. And what I do after every shoot, I go take a long bath, I connect my camera to my cell phone, and I grab pictures off my camera to my cell phone, and I send them. I text them or WhatsApp them to the talent, just so they have images right away, so they're excited about it because I'm excited about it. So this is what I do. It's like the day doesn't end once the camera stops rolling. Like, either have to wrap up and leave the location. If I don't have to leave the location, like I said, like hotel rooms is perfect, because then I could go take a bath if they have a bathtub in there, and grab images and send them over. So, excuse me. So the shoot was great. It was what I was hoping for, and ever since, it's been like a few days since then, I get back. That was the first thing. That was the first thing I literally captured or downloaded to my computer and edited. Besides nothing else, everything else stayed on the cameras, on the cards. I wanted to get that done just because I wanted to see what it looks like. That was the whole thing. The other scenes that I shot were like really cool looking too, but this is the one that I've been waiting for a month to shoot. So I wanted to edited and then but it's still the solo's not edited, it's just the opening's edited because it was so cool. I wanted to post it, I wanted to shoot it, I wanted to post it, I wanted to post the pictures, I wanted to get her the opening, so she's excited about it. And now I could edit the solo today, tomorrow, whichever day. But the way I did the lighting, so this is basically supposed to be a lighting 101 situation here, and I kind of went on the tangent. But what I did with the lighting, what I wanted to do was give it this whole dingier red light district look to it. The hotel that I had like a little window that from another room that usually shine light through. So I was like, well, let me shine a light through it that's almost like a spotlight, so it looks like a window light coming through, like a blue window light. I shot in tungsten, so I wanted daylight going through, daylight balanced light going through that window that was super harsh to create like a spotlight on the bed. On the bed, I wanted to have the Walkman with all the stuff there, so it's almost like it's like pointing, like look over there. What I wanted to do with Robin as she walks in, I wanted to do a whole like red wall. So it's like the whole wall is splashed with red. And then the camera's in the foreground, the video camera. And the way I wanted to separate the camera from the background, what I did was I put a backlight on the camera that's, again, daylight balanced as well. So it goes blue, it goes almost to like nighttime color, you know, nighttime, like moon color. And I wanted, when Robin walks in, I wanted her silhouette just take over the wall, the red wall. So it's like here's the camera, there's the red wall, all of a sudden the silhouette of this woman walks in, and then she walks in the shot. She's out of focus because the camera is locked onto the camera. So you just see this first shadow come in, then you see this out of focus woman coming in closer to this camera. She gets closer, she comes into focus. That's the opening shot that I wanted from the beginning. That's the opening shot I lit and set up. We did a few takes of it. And to me, the two big shots that I wanted was that and the shot where she leans into the camera and she turns on the light above the camera and it blinds her. And that, what I did was I was trying to figure out what I'm going to set up. Am I going to set up one of these LED lights? But I'm like, no, that's cheesy. That I have an old VHS camera on the tripod. She needs to turn on a really weird light above it. So I actually had a desk lamp with a clamp on it, and so I brought that from home and I set it up. I clamped it to the camera, so it looks kind of like weird, like this is like makeshift looking thing. And then I took some cinefoil that I bought at Sammy's and I made a snoot. Snoot is basically you make like a tunnel where you could shoot a light through it, so the stream is just that much more sharper. And that's where the can smoke came in that I bought at Sammy's. So what we did was we did a few takes without the smoke, and then what I did was I go close your eyes, and I spray the smoke. The camera's already rolling, and I go to her, turn on the light. Boom, she turns on the light, and you see this stream of light hit her in the face, because now when the light goes through the smoke, it creates a stream. You've seen it at concerts and places like that where there's like smoke machines and the lights go through it, and it creates these shafts of light that are beautiful. And that's what I was going for. And she's backlit with blue light, and the camera is, so she comes in as a silhouette. Boom, turns it on. Boom, her face is lit up with this streak of light. When it came to going on the bed, crawling on the bed, I wanted to do various angles that are very sensual, slow movements. Her skirt's a little riding up, so you could see her red panties from the back, see her legs. So we just did a bunch of different angles of her crawling across the bed to get to the cell phone. And then even when she gets the cell phone, she flips over and lays on her back with her legs spread open, but she's got panties on. So there's a little bit of shadow play there, so you don't see much. But that window light that's coming in, that harsh window light, it just gives her this beautiful edge, this daylight, moonlight looking edge across her body, which is something that that's why I use that window so much. And I did various angles of that. I shot high angle, shot security camera footage of like Ivan Dragon watching her. I've had her looking around like on the phone, somebody saying like, I'm watching you, я тебя вижу. And so she's looking around because she realizes somebody's staring at her. So you don't even have to have dialogue over that. You know she's looking around, and we cut to a security camera above her head that somebody's staring at her. And then that's when she puts the phone down, crawls over to the camera, turns the camera on, crawls back, puts the headphones on. Because the phone is laying on the bed now, so you could hear talking. So he's directing her into doing everything in this room. So that was the plan. And then eventually when she comes back in the bed, puts the headphones on and gets turned on by the music, by whatever, is being said to her on the phone. And she masturbates with the phone, with a toy, with whatever, with her fingers. She has this tiny little finger vibrator. And that's it. And that's the scene. And then she leaves. And to me, it's really cool because I wanted to shoot something artistic with her, kind of like a la Ink Motel 1. Ink Motel 1 was more of that type of shooting, where it was like very artistic, very low-lit, dingy. Same with 2. 2 had a lot more cinematography in it. 3 was more very comedic, and it won Best Gonzo at Alt Star Porn Awards because it was very comedic, very funny, very cool. One of my highlights of 2022 by far. And this new one, in 2023, Ink Motel 4, I want to give it a little bit of both. Funny, some tattooing, and very artsy. I have this scene that I shot with Kitana Montana and Gunnar Stone that's very artistic, very red light district-y. And this kind of goes in that same realm. In part 1, I did this really cool stuff with Karma RX where it's lit like that red light district-y, old school, like 80s type of horror vibe or whatever, Grindhouse from the 60s and 70s. And that's what it was about. It was, and so I'm kind of going back to the roots of Ink Motel. So I'm combining like basically all 4 of them, where from 1, I take all the cinematography, film noir look. From 2 and 3, I take the characters from 2 and 3 and I combine them and I put them all together, and still having that film noir look and comedy and weird comedy and just ridiculousness of what Ink Motel series has become. So that's kind of what that scene was. It was just conclusion of what I've been doing for Ink Motel 4, and I'm excited. I'm excited for this weird movie. I have a lot of scenes for it already, a handful of scenes. I have 1 or 2 left, and little wraparound scenarios. I got to shoot my inserts for me prepping the audio cassette, prepping the cell phone, prepping the video camera. I'm going to shoot all at my house. I have a vision of how I'm going to shoot it at my house. Now it's just executing it, putting the camera on the tripod, because I'm a one-man show. So put a camera on a tripod, flip the screen over, and watch myself do these close-ups while I'm rolling the camera. And that's it. So this was my Robin Coffins shoot idea that I sat on for a month and finally shot. I'll be doing more of these podcasts, talking about my lighting, talking about what the scene was about, why it was shot a certain way, and that's it. I think the next one we might do from what we're going to be shooting with Kennedy Rose. I also have something I want to talk about, the Darcy Diamond Hosferatu scene. The Kennedy Rose is called the Vegpire. She's going to be a vegan vampire. And there's just a lot more coming. So I'm pretty excited with Ink Motel 4, Hole Hunters 2, XPW's coming up in a few weeks. I still have my XPW Pleasures of the Flesh recap that I recorded, and I got to post it. And I'm thinking of starting to do Zoom interviews for the podcast, which I think would be great. And anybody listening who wants to be part of that, please hit me up. The more the better, please. Collaborations to shoot, to do podcasts together, to light. I want to create, interview, and make 2023 great again. Thank you very much, everybody. And I will talk to you later. If I could figure out how to turn this off right now. And here we go.